Previous lecture we learned about the energy stored in a per unit volume of the medium and as well as what is the change in the radius of the soap bubble when it is charged. So in this class let us try to understand Clausius-Mosotty equation. So before going to the equation, so first we need to understand the theory behind this Clausius-Mosotty. So here we will be getting the equation for molecular field EM. So in this derivation we will try to get the expression for molecular field EM and the dielectric. So what is molecular field? So the electric field which is responsible for polarizing a molecule of the dielectric is called molecular field. The electric field which is responsible for polarizing a molecule of the dielectric is called molecular field EM. Clear? So we have understood what do we mean by polarizing, and we have also understood what is dielectric. So here this definition is about for a single molecule. So the electric field which is responsible for polarizing a molecule of the dielectric. So in a dielectric, so let us consider this as a dielectric material. So there will be so many molecules which are randomly arranged. And if there is a field which is responsible for polarizing only this molecule or a single molecule of the whole dielectric, then such kind of field is known as molecular field, and it is represented or it is written as EM. So this is the molecular field. So this is the electric field at a molecular portion of the dielectric. So if you have the electric field at the molecular position in the dielectric, then you can call it as molecular field. So this will be produced by all external sources and by all polarized molecules in the dielectric, with the exception of one molecule at a point. So here what is polarization? So if you keep this dielectric in an external electric field, so this dielectric molecule will arrange themselves in a particular fashion, and there will be the formation of plus layer and minus layer. Because of this plus layer and the minus layer, there will be induced electric field, and the molecule and the dielectric material then can be said as polarized. That means the separation of positive and negative charges occur due to the presence of electric field. And we have also understood that the polarization can occur in a polar as well as non-polar molecules of the dielectric. Now let us move to the Clausius-Mosotty equation. Before that, you need to have parallel plate capacitor. So parallel plate capacitor can be drawn like this. So this is positively charged plate and this is negatively charged plate. So in between these two plates there is a dielectric material. So because of the field which is from the parallel plate capacitor, the molecules in the dielectric materials reorient themselves and they align in a particular fashion. So these are the molecules which are present in the dielectric material. So dielectric material is kind of insulating material. So here you will have plus minus minus plus minus plus minus plus minus plus minus plus. Since this material is polarized, you can see the uniformity in the charge distribution, or else the material will be like this, randomly distributed molecules. Okay, clear. Now this material, dielectric material, is polarized and the electric field, this external electric field will be in this direction. So this is E external. So this electric field is due to the parallel plate capacitor, and there will be induced electric field due to this dielectric molecules, so that will be in this direction. So E induced, and the polarization or the direction of polarization vector will be in this direction. Because polarization will be from negative to positive. So this is polarization. And dipole moment is also in the same direction. So in this direction only the dipole moment will be present. So I can also denote the direction of dipole moment. So how do you get the dipole moment? So if you observe here, this plus minus layer will get cancelled and this plus minus layer will get neutralized. So instead of cancelling, we can use the word neutralized. So here this plus minus will also get neutralized. So here is the negative layer and here is the positive layer. Because of these two layers, negative and positive layer, you get a dipole moment, and dipole moment will be from negative to positive. So if this is the case, then we can say this material is polarized, hence P is in this direction. E induced means electric field which is induced due to the charges on the dielectric material. So these charges are on different phases of the dielectric material. So electric field will be from plus to minus. So this is E induced and this is E external, so which we have given from the parallel plate capacitor. So electric field will be again from plus to minus. So this is the basic picture you need to understand about the dielectrics. Now what we will do is, so from this dielectric slab, so we will remove a small section. So let's suppose you remove this small section and there will be the formation of cavity. So if you remove if this is a dielectric material, so if you remove the small part inside this material, so there will be the formation of cavity. So now in this cavity, what you will do is, so you will add in the dielectric molecules until the space for single molecule will be left. So what you are doing is, so you have considered the dielectric material, in that you have taken out the small part of the dielectric material. So there will be the formation of cavity. So in this cavity now you are inserting the dielectric molecules until this space will be filled, but the small space for single molecule will be left. So there you will calculate the molecular field. So molecular field can be calculated in the following way. So consider a dielectric sample placed in the uniform electric field between the two plates of the capacitor, so which is shown here. So now it will be assumed that polarization is uniform and that P is parallel to the field producing it. So this P will be parallel to this field which is producing it. So consider a point O at which actually the molecule is not present. So here the molecule is not present. We want to calculate field at O by drawing the sphere of radius around this O. So the dielectric will this sphere, calculate a field at O by drawing a sphere of radius R. So the dielectric consists of two parts. So one is empty and the dielectric material. So this I will draw in a large diagram. So what basically you have is, you have the parallel plate capacitor. So these plates are having positively charged and negatively charged. So here after polarization, what you will be left? You will be left with the negative layer and the positive layer. So let me write them also. So you have the negative layer and you have the positive layer. So these two layers will be formed at two different faces of the dielectric. Now what you have done, so you have taken out the small section of the dielectric material. So after taking out the small section, you have added few dielectric molecules until when this one molecule space is left. So for this, so what you are drawing is, so you are drawing a sphere, so which is of radius R. So I have drawn the larger sphere. So this sphere is which has got the radius R. So here you also have the dielectric molecules. Next, so there will be induced charges due to the field. So this I'll explain a bit later. So for now, so consider there are charges here. So here in this diagram, so you have free charges. So this is free charges and this is also the free charges, and this charge, this charge, this charge and this charge. So all these charges are bound charges. So these are not free. So these are bound charges. So which are the free charges? So the charges which are present on the plates of the capacitor are free charges. So the bound charges are the charges which are present in the dielectric material. So these are the bound charges. So in this diagram, we will basically have the many types of fields which are acting on the sphere. So if you sum up all these fields, then you get the molecular field. So basically you have four kinds of electric fields. So first is field due to this free charges, and second will be field due to the bound charges, and third is field due to this induced charges. So fourth is electric field which is produced due to the dipoles which are present in the cavity. So you are actually having the four this electric fields. So E0, E1, E2, E3. So if you sum up all these electric fields, then you get EM. EM is what? Molecular field. So E0 is what? Electric field due to plates of the capacitor. or due to charges present on the plates of the capacitor. Right, and the direction of this field is in this direction. So why? Because, so if you see here, so the electric field due to parallel plate capacitor is in this direction. Next you have E1. So E1 is the electric field due to bound charges. So that will be in the direction opposite to the direction of the first electric field. So that is here. Next is which? E2. E2 is electric field due to induced charges on sphere. So this will be again in this direction. So if you observe here, so here these are the induced charges which are present on the surface of the sphere. So electric field will be from positive to negative. So this is the direction of electric field, so which I have drawn here. So E2 is electric field due to induced charges on sphere. So E3 will be equals to 0, and this is, so electric field due to the polarized molecules which are present within the cavity, sphere or cavity. So this is E3. So you got to know the direction of E0, E1, E2 and E3. So E3 is 0 because electric field due to the polarized molecules within the sphere is 0. So this is the basic things which you have to understand. So EM will be what? EM will be E0 plus E1 plus E2 plus E3. So before going to that, so again you have two more points to understand. So the dielectric outside the sphere is treated as continuous of dipoles. So the dielectric which is present outside this sphere will be treated as continuous of dipoles. So these dipoles induces a charge on the outer surface of the sphere. So the dipoles which are present on the other parts of the sphere, so those dipoles produces the induced charge on the sphere. Next, the molecules inside the sphere are treated as individual dipoles. So these 2 points are important. So let me write them here. So you have first point. So the dielectric outside the sphere is treated as a continuous of dipoles. So these dipoles induces a charges on the outer surface of a sphere. So as you can see here, so let us compare this diagram with this diagram. So let's suppose you have taken a sphere like this from this dielectric material. So outside this sphere, so the dielectric molecules are continuous. So these are not randomly arranged, so these are continuous in fashion. So because of all these dipoles, so the charges will get induced on this sphere. So that is what I have drawn here. So these charges will get induced due to the presence of continuous dipoles outside the sphere. So now here molecules inside this sphere are treated as individual dipoles. So hope this is clear to you all. Next, so we learned this E0, E1, E2, E3 before itself. So now the molecular field at O means at sphere will have 4 components. So which are those? E0, E1, E2 and E3. So now if you add up all these electric fields, then you get EM is equals to E0 plus E1 plus E2 plus E3. So this is what your EM. So now our next job is to find what is E0, what is E1, what is E2 and what is E3. So before going to find all this, hope this concept is clear to you all. So what is EM? EM is molecular field. So this is at the sphere. So this is summation of all the fields which are acting on it. So first let us find E0. So E0 is the external field due to charged plates of the capacitor. Due to the charged plate or plates of the capacitor. So E0 can be written as what? Sigma by epsilon naught. So here this is from free charges. So sigma here is from surface free charge density. So you can also write sigma as sigma f also. So sigma f also you can write, or you can also write it as d. So E0 can also be written as d by epsilon naught. So here sigma is what? It is the surface density of free charges on the plates of capacitor. So this is the surface density of free charges which are present on the plates of capacitor. So this is what your E0 is. Next, so E1 is the depolarizing field due to the bound charges. So these are present on the outer faces of the dielectric. So now E1 can be written as minus P by epsilon naught. Why minus? So if you observe here, so the direction of E1 is opposite to the direction of E0. So hence, so you are representing that in an expression by or with the help of minus. So P is what? P is polarization. So sigma is equals to P dot N. So N is the area vector. So you can also write this as Pn cos theta. So angle between P and N is 0. So you will be left with P. So N is unit vector. So angle between P and N is 0 degree. So you will be left with P. So sigma can be written as P. So E is equals to sigma by epsilon naught. So in this case sigma is replaced with P P. So minus sign is because this is in opposite direction to the first field E naught. So E1 is minus P by epsilon naught and E naught is sigma by epsilon naught, or which is equals to D by epsilon naught. So this is mod P. Next, calculation of E3. So to calculate this E3, not E3, so calculation of E2. So to calculate this, let us read out the diagram of the sphere. So you had a sphere like this. So on this you had positive charges as well as the negative charges. Clear? So the polarization vector will be from positive to negative. So this is your polarization vector P. So now we need to have the area vector. So if this is the center, so let this be the area vector. So that is n cap. So this is n. So now, so if you take this angle, so this angle will be negative because you will be calculating it in the anti-clockwise direction. So this will be negative. So now if you extend this vector, P vector, so you will get here theta. So this theta will be positive. So this is again P. So this P will be minus. So because this is in this direction and this is in this direction. So you have the P and N vectors on the sphere. So we know that. So P dot N. So sigma is P dot N. So we can also write this as Pn cos theta. So this Pn cos theta. So here the angle will be what? So this is 180 degrees. So if you subtract theta, then we will be left with what? 180 minus theta. So substitute that here. Pn cos of 180 degree minus theta. Cos of 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. So minus P cos theta. So you are left with P cos theta. So this is what? Sigma. Sigma is equals to minus P cos theta. So you have dq is equals to sigma ds. So let us write this ds in terms of polar coordinate system. So from this ds will be what? ds will be equals to 2 pi r sin theta r d theta, or you can also write this as 2 pi r square sin theta d theta. So this you wrote it from with the help of polar coordinate system. So now here dq will be what? Sigma ds. So you have sigma here. So you have ds here. So substitute both in this equation. What you will get? dq is equals to minus p cos theta multiplied by 2 pi r square sin theta d theta. Clear? So this is what? dq. dq is surface charge. Sigma is surface charge density and dq is charge which is present on the sphere. So dq is equals to minus p cos theta 2 pi r square sin theta d theta. So for this class let us stop here. So in the next class I will continue this derivation. So in the next class we will calculate this E2 and what else left. So E3. So we have to calculate E2 and E3. So for this calculation, let us take one more class. So I'll stop this class here. So hope you all have understood the theory behind this derivation. So in the next class I will continue the same thing, that is Clausius-Mossotti equations.